So in this video, we will learn how to create an instance on in AWS EC2, and then we will create an AMI from that instance, and then we can use that AMI to launch new instances. So this will be helpful when we want to launch instances on maybe in an auto scaling group. So we can just launch our own instance and create our own AMI. Then we can launch instances using that AMI. So maybe in the auto scaling group, so we can configure the auto scaling group configuration, like launch configuration. And in the launch configuration, we can just select the AMI we created. Uh, and when we select the AMI we created, the new instances which will be launched in auto scaling group, they will use our own created AMI. So let's see how we can launch an instance, and we can configure that instance however we want, and then we can create AMI. Then we can launch new instances in auto scaling group using that AMI. So let's say let me launch an instance. This is my AMI instance AMI. Okay, so I'm just giving a random name, and I'm going to select Ubuntu 18.04 LTS, and I'm instance type is T2 micro because it's free tier eligible. So I'm going to select this, and I have a key pair. So I'm selecting that. I have an existing security group, so I will try to just select that. Okay, and I'm keeping all other attribute as it is, and I'm going to launch the instance. So now we can see the instance is being launched. It's pending now. So once it will be active, we can just access it. And why I'm creating the instance first, because there's also AMI available in AWS. We can select that in our auto scaling group, and we can launch instances in that AMI. But if the case you want to make some changes in the instance, like let's suppose we are going to use a web server, let's say it's Nginx, and uh, when we launch the instance and install the Nginx on that instance. So first thing, on the Ubuntu 18.04, Ubuntu 22.04, 20.04, there's no web server installed already. So we have to manually install that. So I have just created 18.04, and I will install uh, Nginx web server on this instance, and then I will change the root directory of that Nginx, because I don't want to serve the code from where www directory. So I will serve from the home directory. So I will serve from home Ubuntu, and then I will create a new directory, public HTML, and then I will serve the code from there. So for that case, I have just created a instance, and now I'm going to connect the instance. So you can connect through the putty. You have to enter the public IP and then key, but I am connecting from the console only because I don't want to take much time. So just let me launch from the here only. Okay, so now for now, if we enter the public IP of this instance in browser, this will not. There's something wrong with this instance. So let me try again. No idea what's going on. So let me connect through putty only. Okay. Okay. So first thing here. Okay. And now I will install. So do apt update. Then I will install Nginx. Sudo apt install Nginx. Oh, sorry. Okay. Now the Nginx web server is installed, and now I be at this IP should be able to see the Nginx welcome pages. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. If we see Nginx site enabled and default. So this is serving from where www.html, but I don't want to serve from here. I just want to make changes. Let me create a directory here. Move into, okay, fine. I'm creating make directory public underscore html. Okay. Okay. So okay. So here public HTML, and now I want to serve the Nginx. I mean, I want to make this directory as my root directory. So let me just copy that. Where www html, then right home ubuntu public html, and with the same name. So let me just create this. Now I'm going in public html. Now I have pigs here, so now I'm going to do with index, and I'm just going to edit this page, sorry, so that we will be able to make sure that Nginx is serving from this directory only. So here, this is from, I'm just writing the directory name, let's go public html. Let's say we want that to make site one. So I will write it site one. Okay. And this, and now let's move this from create mkdir site one. Okay, site one. So now I'm going to move index site one index.html. Okay, now we see here this. Okay, so now what we need to do is we just need to create sort of etc nginx site enabled default, and then I have to just edit the nginx root directory. I can just going to tell the nginx to serve the piece from home window public html slash site one. And now I'm going to go this sudo Okay, so let's first check this. Okay, this is serving from the variable std only. So now I'm going to sudo service nginx restart nginx. I'm so sorry for that. Actually, my keyboard is causing some issue. Okay, fine. So now let's check if we can. Okay, so now this is changed. Okay, this is serving from the public HTML side of the page. Okay, fine. So now we have changed this directory. So now we know we can copy our code in under this site one directory, and then this will start serving from there only. Now what we are going to do, we are just going to stop this instance, and then we'll create a AMI using this as so I'm going to just, if you go here and you will see image and template, you will just go here, you can just create image, enter image. So on AMI you can give any name, I'm just giving on AMI. Okay, and deletion of termination, if you enable this, this will the instance will delete the volume when you terminate the instance, but I'm just disabling that. And just for description, Nginx and root directory it changed. Fine, now I'm creating it. Okay, so now AMI is being created. We go here. Here we can see it's pending. It's creating an AMI. On AMI, it's still pending. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to terminate this instance with the AMI finish. Just wait for a second. It will take some time. So meanwhile, it's being prepared. I'm just trying to explain you why I'm doing this, why I'm creating AMI using instance. Like I have launched a new instance, then I created AMI. Then we will use this AMI to launch a autoscaling group, because you can use like the default AMI, whatever is available in AWS marketplace. So, but if you want, like you don't want to serve the code from where HTML directory, you want to create your own directory, maybe just like I created under the home Ubuntu and public HTML. So in that case, you can just launch instance, you can create a AMI, and then you can just use that AMI to launch autoscaling group. And if you launch using the marketplace AMI, so there may be, if you are going to use the 22.04 or maybe 18.04 Linux, I mean Ubuntu, so there you will not find the Nginx pre-installed in that AMI. So you have to also enter the user data, maybe in the user data, the command to install Nginx. But the easiest way, if you want, and the more comfortable way, I think we can just create a launch instance, and then we can just install the required softwares. Like if it say for web server, then we can install Apache or Nginx. Then we can change the root directory from where the Nginx or Apache will serve the code, and then we can create a AMI and we can launch new instances in autoscaling group using that. So we don't need to worry about installing a web server every time. Uh, so that will be pre-installed, and then whenever we use code deploy to deploy the code, so we can provide the directory path, like the code deploy will deploy on in the home Ubuntu, then public HTML, then like site one directory. So that will be beneficial. So for that I have created, and let's see, it's created. Yeah, now it's created, and now I'm going to terminate my running instance. So give me 1 second, just I'm terminating this. So I have terminated, and now I'm going to create a new instance using the AMI I just created, and let's see if Nginx and that uh, the directory we created and Nginx is serving from that directory only. So I'm just launching with the name of new instance, and I'm just now going in my AMI. So here you can see your own AMI is there. So we can just select this and then uh, key pair. So and again selecting our own key pair I had there, and now I'm going to select the security group. So I have uh, where it is launch wizard 5. This is my security group I have created, and now I'm going to launch the instance. Okay, so now instance is launched, and this is the terminated one. This is pending, so it will take few minutes to be ready. But once it's ready, so in the previous one, whatever we have launched 18.04 using the Majon AMI, in that instance, we saw that we have to manually install the Nginx. But in our instance, the new instance we have launched using our own AMI, in which we have pre-installed the Nginx and we have changed the root directory. So in this, we will be able to find the Nginx pre-installed and that page. So see here. So the same way we will. So this was the video for only creating and launching a new instance, then creating an AMI. Whatever changes you want to make, just launch a new instance, make the changes in that instance, then create an AMI in that instance. Once you create the AMI, all the configuration or changes you have made in that instance will be saved, and whenever you will launch a new instance using that AMI, you will see the new instance with the changes you made before getting the AMI. So that was my goal, to just show you how we can launch a new instance and create a AMI using that instance. I have installed Ubuntu 18.04 server. So now I'm going to terminate this also, and I will continue with the auto scaling group, and then I will create launch configuration, then auto scaling group, then load balancer, and then I will just use the code pipeline code deploy. So what this a complete video tutorial will show you, like we can just deploy the code using code pipeline from the source code management that will be GitHub. So from the GitHub, whenever your developer will push the code to GitHub, and then we will run the code pipeline manually, and it will pull the code from the GitHub, and then it will deploy the code on your auto scaling group. So if you have only single instance running in your auto scaling group, so the code will be deployed to that instance only. And also we will use blue green deployment. What is blue green deployment? Like don't be very worry about the blue green. I will explain you blue green when we'll deploy. So as of now, I'm not going to talk on the blue-green deployment because it will be confusing. So once we will create, and then I will talk about that in depth. And for now, I'm going to stop this video. In the next video, I will create a launch configuration on auto scaling group, and then we will create load balancer in the third video. So that will be a series of video, like maybe 5 or 10 videos. And in if you watch all these video, you will be able to create a code pipeline, uh, and that code will be deployed to auto scaling group. So if you set the like target here in auto scaling group, that whenever your instance reach 50% of your CPU utilization, then it will launch a new instance, and load balancer will distribute the traffic over the uh, all available instance. And let's say if there is 5 instance available or 2 instance available, so load balancer will distribute the traffic in between all those instances. So that we will see when we create all these resources like load balancer and auto scaling. But in that case, what will happen, the new instance will be launched with updated code, so that when traffic will be directed to any instance, so all the users will get the updated code, and you do not need to be worried about scaling vertically. So it will upscale automatically, and whenever load goes down, it will just terminate few instances, and it will only keep the minimum size of the instance. Let's say if we select one instance, so one instance will be running, and when the load will be increased, this will launch 2 or 3, whatever we will select as maximum or desired. So that will launch the instances as per our configuration in the launch configuration. So don't worry about that, we'll just create another video. So thank you so much for the this video. If you have any doubt or any concern, you can just write in the comment. I will try to answer. Thank you so much.